Hello, welcome to WhinyTechGuy. It's episode 11, May 23rd, 2012. Today I want to whine about just a couple things really quick. Hopefully, it'll go quick. First thing is all this hullabaloo about the new iPhone that's coming out. Wow, several months from now probably, if you go by last year's change by Apple that had it come out in the fall instead of in the middle of the summer during a Worldwide Developers Conference. I'm assuming they'll do the same thing. So we're still several months away. So yeah, the rumor mill's starting to pick up, but there's a persistent rumor that I'm seeing from some pretty reputable places, which worries me, about the new iPhone having a larger screen. The rumors are that it's not going to be this big giant screens like these Android phones, thank God. But they're talking about making this new screen a little bit taller. If you hold the phone, straight and look from top to bottom, making it a 4-inch display effectively. There's a lot of people trying to do the math on all the pixels and everything. It looks like they'll be almost exactly 4 inches. Which puts it at more of a 16:9 ratio, which is what you see, at the movie theater with the movies, the widescreen movies. But I don't understand why Apple would do that just so you could watch a widescreen movie in its proper ratio on a phone. It still doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to be a little bit surprised if it actually happens, and that's why these rumors that I'm seeing are concerning me, and people that I read that are a little bit more in the know than I am, that get information from sources and other people, seem to be treating it like it's a reality, and they're figuring out exactly how this is going to look and work, and the phone may or may not be taller depending on how they make the screen bigger. The problems with doing this affect every app that gets put on the phone, because now it has to stretch or have two black bars on either end of the app screen, which doesn't make sense for Apple to do something like that. The experience would degrade if maybe they wouldn't even allow that. That would make more sense. But to have to stretch your app like that, and who wants these long, skinny apps and screens for things that it's already a little bit wide, I think, but it seems to work. If you want something bigger, go get an iPad. It's the perfect size, I think. And I don't put any credence into the iPad Junior, iPad Mini, whatever camp that trying to make a smaller iPad. That doesn't make sense to me either. It's Apple tries to make the right thing, and it's about the experience. It's not about having every possible model and every possible form factor so that everybody can be pleased with everything. If somebody wants a 3-inch screen, they can get it, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, have 8 models. Now that kind of crap's for Samsung and Nokia that do that type of stupidity, have 18,000 models nobody can keep track of. Apple doesn't do that. They've got one iPhone. Well, there's a couple out there now because they're selling older models. I don't count that as multiple models really, because it's an older model being sold. Anyway, they've got the one thing that they say, hey, here's the experience we think is the best experience, and buy it, don't buy it, whatever. If you want a big ass screen, go buy an Android phone. Fine, see ya. Good luck with that. You deserve it. So I'm hoping this isn't true, and that these rumors are just people trying to grasp at something, because there's not really a whole lot that we can see that can be improved or added functionality wise to the phone now. All the big things, the low-hanging fruit, as one of the bloggers I read put it, have all been kind of done. It's taken them a few years, but they've got all the big things there, and so now it's improving incrementally, maybe make the battery last longer, or make it a little bit thinner, a little bit faster. The screen's already great. We're not going to have a better screen for a while, I don't think. Make the software better, do some changes to the UI. Maybe it's time for that. Those types of things. But those aren't sexy to talk about. Everybody goes, there's going to be a new screen. So I'm hoping it's a rumor, and I will eat my words if it comes out, and hopefully maybe I'll I'll get what I'm missing when Apple explains it and I drink the Kool-Aid. Anyway, that's my whine and rant about that. The last thing I want to talk about is fairly short, but it's come up a little bit in the last week. Somebody has put out a story about the Apple logo on the back of the laptops, on the MacBooks, MacBook Pros. It's been there for a long time. PowerBooks, way back then, had them on the back, and somebody wrote an article, and it's kind of spread around, that there was a point in time, and I looked for the date this morning, but I couldn't find it easily, so I gave up, when they changed that, and they flipped the logo around 180 degrees. So before, when you were sitting in front of your laptop and you had it closed, you would see the Apple in the proper orientation, and then you would open the lid. But when the lid's open and you were looking at it from the back, somebody, sitting across from you or looking at it from across the room in the office or whatever, would see the logo upside down. And Apple devices started showing up in a lot of TV shows and movies and media, things like that. And it looked a little goofy to see the back of a laptop with the logo upside down. So they switched it. Makes a lot more sense. Yeah, when you go to open your laptop, the logo to you is upside down. Big deal. You figure out which way you need to open it very quickly. It'll last for a few seconds, and then from then on you open it correctly. It's not going to confuse you. But now it looks more correct from anybody else. The hundreds or dozens of people that are going to see that, millions of people on a movie or a TV show. And so it makes sense to me they made that change. It's interesting to me that so many people are talking about it. It's like a minor thing, really, but people are making it out to be this big deal. Then I read this morning, somebody postulated or asked, well, how every other laptop has done the same thing now. But is there one that hasn't? And sure enough, there is one. The ThinkPad, the Lenovo ThinkPad, used to be IBM. They still have their logo the other way. And it boggles the mind, but it doesn't surprise me too much, because have you ever used a ThinkPad? If you use a ThinkPad and you like it, you're an idiot. Wow, what a piece of junk. I just hate that thing. I hate the little nipple mouse thing in the middle of the keyboard that I kept bumping, and when I tried to use, it was goofy, and the trackpad was weird, and it just felt like it was going to break my lap if I ever had it in my lap. This thing weighed 18 million pounds. It felt like something the Army would use, this big honkin' square ugly thing. And to top it all off, the stupid thing runs Windows, so there you go. They're kind of made for each other, maybe, huh? But there they are. IBM, jettisoned that a few years back, and now this, is it Taiwanese, Lenovo? Taiwanese, Chinese, one of the two. It's a company that has, carried on the great tradition of making crap and foisting it upon the people. Yeah, sure, it's cheap, but hey, there are some things that you get what you pay for. There are some truths somewhere where that actually is true. You get what you pay for. And I just shudder. I mean, and what about the name, Lenovo? What does that mean? That's bleh. That's wow, that's worse than IBM putting on your machine. That's just, the whole thing makes me gag and wonder, and I'm glad I don't see them very often anymore, especially in movies and TV. Do you ever see a ThinkPad on a TV show or a movie? No. Why? Oh, I wonder. It's not just because the logo's upside down. Hello. Anyway, I just thought that was really funny, and it was kind of this ironic thing. I don't know if irony is the right word. That Lenovo's the one that's not turning the logo around. That was funny to me. Anyway, episode 11, May 23rd, 2012. That's it for this week. I do a new episode every week, and I just talk about things I've noticed, mostly tech stuff, and I just rant and whine about it just to get it out of my system. Makes me feel better. Anyway, see you next week. Bye.